In this presentation, we will continue on with our comprehensive problem for an individual relatively low income entering interest income into tax software. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info. We are on the test 1040 where we have the single individual Adam Smith. We will be continuing on here, leaving off with two dependents and the single individual. Going to page 2 then, we see that we have wages of the $20,800. We currently have the standard deduction. We're now going to add interest income, which was going to be included in the income section of the 1040 up top here. We're going to go into our input screen. Once again, we're using Lacerte tax software, but input screens will differ, but the format or the input will be much the same, whether we're using this tax software or another. We're going to enter interest income often given in a 1099. So we'll receive a 1099 in order to enter the interest income. The form will typically look something like this. You can look it up on the irs.gov website, typically reporting interest income here. If it's taxable, if it's not taxable, may be reported in some other location. We're going to give our generic information saying that we have Bank 1. Bank 1 had $900 of interest income. And then we're going to say from Bank 2, we're going to add another line and say we had Bank 2. So usually the interest is from some type of bank, oftentimes, some type of savings account. And that had 700. So let's see what that happened, what that does. First, actually, let's delete the 700 and do this one at a time. If we start with just the 900 and we go to the forms up top, then we'll see that the interest is being included here. We got the 20,800 plus the 900, bringing the total income to 21,700. We have our worksheet here, which will give us the detail, only one line item in it. Very nice and easy information there. That then, of course, will continue on, standard deduction, and then continuing on from that point. We'll note what is not here, and that's going to be a Schedule B. The Schedule B typically reports interest. If we go to it, there it is. However, it's not something that's required in this return. You can see that in this tax software by it being grayed out. If I select this icon, it's not something included because of the dollar limitation being lower than the limitation necessary for another schedule. If, however, we add the second, going back to our data input, and we say that the second interest income, let's say 700, and then we go back to our forms 1040. Here's the form 1040. Here's page 2. Here's the 1,600 in interest income. Have this information, but we don't have the worksheet here. No worksheet because now we have another schedule that takes care of this. It's now Schedule B. Schedule B now being required, reporting the interest income. This is going to be the interest and ordinary dividends. We can see that includes the 900 and the 700, adding up to that 1,600. That 1,600 then pulling over to the 1040. 1040, page 2, interest income. 1,600, adding that to our W-2 wages, 20,800 brings the total up to 22,400. So here's the 22,400 standard deduction for the single individual, 12,000, bringing the taxable income to 10,400. And then we see that the tax then is going to be 1,061. We then have the portion of the credits that it's going to bring us down to 0. So once again, on the lower income side of things, oftentimes we won't be paying any tax, especially if we have dependents that could qualify for a child tax credit. So it's going to bring us down to 0. And then we have our payments, which are the same as or of the same relevance as a credit of $921 that was withheld from the paycheck. And then we have our other credits broken out separately because these could actually bring us below 0, giving us a refund even if we didn't owe any taxes. These things will change. Notice income changed. Therefore, the earned income credit will change. 2,860 will typically depend on the tax software to help us look that information up into the table. And then we've got the 1,400 related to the dependents credits, child tax credit, and other dependent credits. So that gives us the 4,260, and we then have the amount to be refunded, 5,181. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info.